Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. We'll jump in the queue here and see if we can stay above 1900, huh? How about that? We got Scabe, 90 seconds, base +8. I see a lot of red-blue soak against Windsor. But also Centrifuge Windsor is like apparently bonkers. I wish I knew the line. You know what, I'm gonna go look it up real quick. Prismata Centrifuge Windsor. Like what are the Centrifuge Windsor lines? No, look at Windsor. Cause like I know combos. Centrifuge is not mentioned, really? Interesting. But I feel like Windsor is honestly beatable with Hannibal and Cauterizer. Also, isn't there some weird player 2 Hannibal rush with Mobile Animus? Like you go DD and then 1B. Yeah, that does actually get you a Hannibal on turn 3, which is kind of weird. I feel like I would have trouble dealing with that. Huh. I don't like any of my plans. I mean, starting with 2 drones is probably right. I don't think we want a Fuge yet. And I believe that, like, a Centrifuge plus a drone does actually get a reasonable Windsor. Is there like... Yeah. But I think that should lose quite badly to Hannibal Rush. Because you don't really have anything for a long time, and then the Hannibals are good against the Windsor anyway. So that's what I'm worried about from opponent. And against that, I think I just kind of have to build wall, like forge into walls. If they actually go 1B, I think that's the best I have. Forge into wall and like pick up an Animus for my own Hannibal, maybe. Gonna be a bit tough to get. Okay, they're gonna try to Windsor me. And against that, I think Hannibals and Cauterizers are insane. Actually, I can just B1, D, and then bull, right? I won't have Cauterizers, but I can drone up while I'm doing that because I'll have 11 drones and I'm spending 10 per turn, so... The Windsor click will be pretty good against 2 Hannibals, but... Well, no, I can still absorb 1 damage, and that's assuming they don't have any other damage, right? Like, I think this is pretty great. Like, you're really gonna triple drone here? I'm punishing this 3rd Engie, if not the Centrifuge, and I think I'm punishing the Centrifuge as well. Nice. Make him 3rd Engie into single drone. We got him. I think against this, I actually Tarsier Splitter Drone before getting my first bowl. It's going to be a long time before the the Winter gets here, and I don't want to give their Tarsiers such great value, I think. Like, is that just crazy? It seems actually kind of bad to do that, right? Like, Tarsier Splitter is 1 less damage right now. Maybe 2 less if I could click the bowl but can't click the splitter for some reason. And the advantage is that, like, the Tarsier and Splitter are not frontline, but it's going to be a very long time before they can kill this bowl, so I think I'll just get some bowls. I mean, I can get another bowl. Oops. But they're going to be, like, I don't know. Actually, if they want a Windsor next turn, they can't build a wall. So this damage is kind of useful. Yeah, let's just keep hammering in the bowls, right? What are they going to do to kill it, exactly? So that's what, like, they would like to do, is kill it very quickly, and I don't think they can do that. Oh, I should have probably clicked this. What was I thinking? I forgot that it was an option. I was thinking about it, but then I got lost in, like, whether I should build a bowl or not. But I definitely should have clicked the bowl that I have. And then they couldn't, like... Yeah, they would have had to force field. It would be great. Yeah, and like next turn they have to force field and Rhino, and I don't think they can actually like comfortably do that. Yeah, they need to build a forge here and waste red. Yowza. This feels so bad. And if only I had made it way, way worse, right? I should have done that. Yeah, they couldn't have clicked that Rhino. I don't know what I was thinking. And the Rhino, like, absorbing a Rhino click is like fake, right? They're gonna get the damage eventually. Here, though, I get an exploit by holding back Hannibal, so I might as well, of course. I don't know if I want that just yet. Maybe I should do this. Sorry for those of you who aren't looking at the screen. Don't do that. Do this. On their Windsor turn, they're gonna kill 2 bulls, right? And I don't know if I want more bulls. Like, can they get up to 7 attack without Windsor? Maybe not. Maybe I should just keep getting the damage faster. Yeah, that's probably better. So they're gonna do what? Like, Probably exactly... Well, actually, they can do 16 damage. So a wall's actually fine against that. And then I can switch to... Cauterizers? Oh, well, though, what if I were to, like, just build a Rhino here as my absorber? Yeah. Because now the Windsor Click, like, I get some absorb against it anyway. And I don't have to build a slow thing like a Tarsier. Oh, good job, Rhino. You did it. They do get a good rectifier. That's pretty cool. But, like, they're basically never doing any damage. I feel like I want one more drone before I get into, like, a second red, because then I could, like, Tarsier, Splitter. But actually, it's probably already going to be Cauterizer time, so that's fine. Is it Cauterizer time? Yeah, probably. What? Why wouldn't you lose an engineer? You really want to build a drone that badly? What? That's pretty unbelievable to me. But I also, like, don't feel winning anymore. This Windsor Click, I don't know, it's gonna kill a bunch of opponents' drones, right? So that's sort of fine. Do I need this? Or could it just be, like, Tarsier, Splitter? I don't think I really need the soak right now. Well, if they click Windsor, how do they ever win, right? Maybe the soak is better. I think this is fine. Like, I'm up damage, they're up a bit of absorb, and I'm up drones by like 5. Yeah, I'm up 2 damage, they're up 2 absorb, that breaks even. I'm up 5 drones, basically. So they probably only do 3 damage, which doesn't turn off a Cauterizer. But if they choose somehow to click the rectifier, I'm at risk of losing a Caut. I don't think that's very realistic. I don't think they're going to click both rectifiers here. If they do, how do they win? So I'll just build a conduit to get into, like, rectifiers if the game somehow goes long, or force fields, who knows. So here, again, they're probably just gonna do 5 damage. Or 3, which like means I don't lose any cots, or don't turn off any cots. And I'm all set for this Windsor again. So this turns off 3 of my cauterizers, which is kind of a bummer, but then they're on 5 drones, so who cares? Actually, they should click their rectifier, and this turns off all my cots, and I just attack for 2, because they don't need the rectifier if I'm attacking for 2. But then I can just buy, like, NGs to get my attack back. Which is, like, relatively cheap, right? $8 for 2 attack. Seems good. Well, should I force field then? I'm losing... I'm gonna have, in this line, well... Suppose I did this. Now I keep 5 NGs alive, which means I do have a cot. So even if they click this, so they maybe shouldn't. So I maybe get to keep, like, even a bit more alive, perhaps? What if these Tarsiers were a Brooder? And an NG? Now I threaten to keep 2 cots going, which is pretty cool. Makes it much harder for them to click both rectifiers. And also much harder not to, of course. Like, if they don't click both rectifiers, I have 2 cots. If they do click both rectifiers, they don't have a rectifier. And I still have 1 cot, which is, like, fine. I have 6 damage against this, don't I? Yeah, 2 cots. So you can't do this. You have to do something else, like force field at least. Man, imagine if, like, back on turn 4 or whatever, I had clicked that Hannibal. Would have been pretty cool. I mean, I think I'm still in good shape, but feeling bad about that mistake now. Not like anything right now is really screaming to me, oh, if only you'd... Just like, I don't know, I'm ruminating on the game while opponent tries to come up with a plan that lives. Speaking of which, how many NGs do I have? Like 1,000? Great. Because next turn I'm buying Shift E. I suspect. It's like the cheapest attacker there is. Right? It's like a fast Tarsier for $4. Yeah, roughly. 2 of them anyway for $8, which is quite good. And I have all the soak I'll need for a long time with, like, yeah, I lose a bunch of NGs, but I have Cots who can't attack and might as well defend, therefore, so I don't have to do anything defensive. I don't know about this Brooder, actually. They're not going to have any, like, really great freeze targets, but I guess, like, 2 of them threatening to freeze a Rectifier is pretty fine. This is, like, the last wall they're ever going to build. And I get even an exploit against this by attacking for 6. Yeah. Man, look at this. Look, I'm not going to show you, but because I don't have it set up to easily capture. But like the, I still have the Centrifuge wiki page up, and it's like, here's the build order for the old Centrifuge. For player 1, drone, Centrifuge. For player 2, drone, drone, Centrifuge. Like, this is not very. I don't know. Just like. Really? Was that so complicated you needed to write it down as like an ordered list of what to do on turn 1 then what to do on turn 2? Just say like, buy the Fuge on turn 2. It's pretty good. Yeah, I'm not a very useful wiki page. And it doesn't look like it's been updated for the new Fuge at all. I mean, the changelog lists the changes, but the openings are still for the old one. And they say, this is for the old Centrifuge. I don't know. I don't use the wiki much. Alright, it finally happened. And they decided to lower me down to 1 cot. Fine, you got me. And they attack for 3. I just lose a wall. No, that's an NG. Kind of a bummer, huh? I could... Well... I mean, I could force field and choose to lose that, or I could just hold a drone. I think that's fine. Then I lose a drone and I still have 3 cots going. That's assuming they can attack with the splitter, which it's looking like they might have trouble doing. I mean, that's... When you think your opponent might not actually attack with the thing, it's useful to hold a drone instead of force field if that's good enough. And here, in particular, I don't even want to lose a force field because it like doesn't absorb correctly. If I'm losing anything, it's just 1 health anyway. So the drone is as good as a force field. Force fielding would exploit myself. Okay, they chose to hold back everything. Fine. So how's this click right now looking? Seems fine. They have to lose an attacker. The splitter, presumably, right? And then they're only attacking for 2, so I can just build more cots. Or more NGs. Seems good. Like, this Wincer's barely gonna tickle. Actually, there. Now they're not even threatening to breach. Actually, here. That's the most efficient attacker there is. If they click Wincer... Well, actually, if they click Wincer, they lose no matter what I do. So I should assume they're not clicking Wincer and somehow winning, although that seems quite unlikely. This lets them keep 2 health alive. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is the best I can do. You don't often see this, right? A unit on the left with more health that hasn't been clicked. Less, like... Normally, like, the one on the right has 5 health and the one on the left is gray. You don't often see fragile units where the one on the left has less health, but they're the same, like, color. They're both blocking. Kind of weird. Anyway, if they click Windsor, they lose, so... Let's assume they don't click Windsor. Against that, this seems fine. Right? I think I win regardless, but... Yes, I think you could defend just about any play this turn as being the best play. Even if you, like, didn't defend and got reached for everything, it would be fine. Okay, there we go. I hope he doesn't feel too insulted by that. You don't often get a chance to use that emote. Yeah, so I think this game was about not buying Windsor. And I made a mistake, as I mentioned, like here, by not clicking my bowl. I think it was quite poor. And I had thought about I probably should click bowl, but then I like forgot to actually do it. But it was just so easy to defend a million Windsor clicks. And you can tell it's going to be when these guys are in the set. At least an early Windsor. You know, a Windsor much later on high econ, like sure, that could be tricky, maybe. But like if you wait, your opponent can more comfortably build this stuff and other things. For example, like have an absorber, like Mahar. Right, this stuff is not just soak; it's like vigilant soak, which is amazing against Windsor plus no attackers. So, you know, slight mistake here. As I said, not clicking my bowl. Killing this one engineer, like, would have caused them a great deal of strife. They would have had to force field here, which is not the end of the world, but it's a green. On the other hand, then this turn, if they had force fielded, they'd be granular, and so, well, I guess I would just click this to kill the, yeah, it would be, like, suppose they had 8 defense. I would just attack for 6, and they'd keep the engineer alive, I guess. Yeah. They would be more granular, so I would be doing 1 less damage this turn. I guess it actually comes out the same, believe it or not, except that they'd be like down a drone, kind of, for a while. I don't know. I wonder if I was wrong to click the bowl here? Or to hold the bowl, even, rather? Like, they only can comfortably attack for 2? Yeah. Well, on the one hand, I think I should have clicked this Hannibal and said... No, because then I could attack for 4 and breach my wall, and that really sucks. But actually, like, it turns out opponent pretended I was attacking for 6 anyway by losing Rhino instead of Engie. So I kind of got the bowl click for free with none of the risk. I just imagine opponent with their Windsor, like, you know, saying, "Oh my God, these bowls are crazy, but if I can just get through all the bowls, like, my Windsor clicks will start to kill things. Look at him, he only has 12 drones." And then, like, I get the second mobile Animus, and it's like, oh my God, the guy just has soak for days. Just this sinking feeling. I don't know. I imagine opponent kind of saw this coming further away than that, but it's fun to imagine, like, your opponent being constantly disappointed by the things that you're doing. I don't know. Just, if you've been focused on Hannibal's, like, the cauterizers might seem like a trick that you pull out of your back pocket that you weren't really expecting. And I was planning them both. Anyway. So, how are we for time? Half an hour. I'm definitely not going to play another game, but I do want to show you guys a couple of replays that I had against the bots, both today, which I thought were kind of interesting examples of extreme situations. This first one was, like, I got all big-eyed when I saw this one, and, like, this is a 4-engineer game. I don't often see 4-engineer games without Vivid or Galvani, right? Or maybe if I do see them, I don't recognize them. You know, and I'm sure Cooled Cannon will talk about, like, 5-NG games or whatever, but you want a lot of alternate drones for that kind of stuff. But here, like, there's so much defense and, like, one attacker. And it's, like, not even an attacker that's good against a bunch of defense. You have, like, everything in the set is Soak and Absorb, except for, like, Reservoir and Grimbotch. So I actually, like... I mean, obviously Masterbot didn't, like, put up a huge fight, so I'm not, like... As always when I do these bot review games, I don't mean to brag, like, wow, I beat Masterbot, amazing. But it's just kind of cool to see this extreme game where, like, you have all 27 drones by turn 7, and then you go and you get some more with the defense grid. And you get, like, double red to spam Tarsiers. Which, you know, I didn't spam too many of, but, like, into Corpuses, and, like, look at all the soak. I'm accumulating Xeno Guardians and Corpus, and meanwhile the drones are ossifying, and, like, finally I get to what I wanted to do the whole game, which was this Reservoir arriving. And, you know, the Xenos, I don't know. Maybe this is another game where I shouldn't have... No. The Xenos were fine here because they were a blue sync. I have 3 blue that I don't really want all of anymore after buying the grid. I just want to, like, convert my drones to force fields and buy, like, stuff. Anyway, so this is just kind of a cool 5-engineer, like, wow, look at this set. Where you just, like, I don't know. Against a real human being, you wouldn't see this botch splitter, and so you wouldn't even need this wall. So the build would be maybe even greedier. Maybe it would be 5-NG against a human being who doesn't get, like, this kind of questionable forge into this very bad Animus. And you might get more engineers or something. Anyway, so that was game number 1, and then game number 2 is the opposite. Like, a super, super low econ game. A new player... I was talking to a new player a week ago? Maybe 2 weeks? Who, you know, remarked that turn 1, everyone always gets 2 drones, and, like, they should just take that out and, like, give everyone 2 more drones and have that be the start position. And that's something that, like, pretty much every new player thinks of at some point. I certainly did. But the reason you don't do that is because there are games where you don't open with 2 drones. And most of those games are, you do that because there's some alternate drone in the set. Vivid drone is a common example. Doom drone is another one, like you go D1E, where with Vivid you go like 1EE or something. Or like Galvani's. You might open turn 1 Galvani for, say, fission turrets, or for Antimacomet, where you, like, for Antimacomet you want as many NGs as you can get, so you open like 1-1 EE, 1-1 EE. Whereas with, like, fissions, you might open 1-1C or D1. That's not legal. 1-1C or something like that, right? So a very aggressive fission turret, if it were the kind of set for that. But here, even with no alternate drones, I think turn 1 Blast Forge. And I can't actually remember ever opening turn 1 Blast Forge before, but this seems like the set for it, right? Flame Animus and good aggressive red sinks. And no real clear punish. Nothing to go for that is big, that can survive this kind of a beating. Like, yes, you'd love Tatsus, you'd love Ampo, but how do you get any of them, right? Against an opponent who's building attackers extremely quickly in the early game. So he follows up with a standard Flame Animus opening, but he missed his chance to open turn 1 Forge. It's not as good for player 1 probably, but I don't know, is it? You get Forge. Yeah, it's pretty bad because you can't even build a drone on turn 2. I don't know. And then, like, did I end up getting a Perforator? I did. Oh, Perf Wall. Yeah, that kind of feels bad. I wanted another Flame Animus, but I also wanted to absorb, and I figured might as well get the wall now. Anyway, like, of course the bot doesn't play this very well, and it's sort of easy to win. And I end up, like, droning up gradually, up all the way up to 10 drones, haha. But only squeezing the drones in when I didn't need money for the more valuable stuff, i.e. attackers. And so eventually, like, I'm on 10 drones and 1 blue and 1 red, which is a pretty comfortable amount to be on. But the Flame Animuses have comboed with the Perforators, and, like, I'm, making use of all this excess tech. So, I don't know, it's kind of a cool, like, here's a set you could go, there's an achievement, right? Like, beat Masterbot after opening with C or B or A on turn 1. Or maybe it's actually B or A, because C might be too easy in a Trinity set. Yeah. So, like, I don't know, if you want to, you can grab this replay code, play against Masterbot, get the achievement. I think that works. Maybe it has to be an honorable game? You could add some random sets, some other random units instead of these or something, and it would probably still be fine. Anyway, just wanted to show off those two kind of interesting contrasting games before we go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.